Welcome to Bajerski.com. I do listen to some of the beautiful souls that do watch these videos. So here's a slightly different angle where you don't feel as claustrophobic as you have been these past 2 years with being isolated or wherever you are. You're in my heart and soul, you truly are. So a little bit of light, a little bit of tree in the background, Mother Earth, is that what cleanses and clears us? When we look up at the stars, we realize who we truly are, which is a speck of everything and nothing. And it's just amazing to see that when we are in nature, we heal. When we're in nature, when we pick a fruit from the tree and it's not being contaminated by science, we know that that fruit is going to heal us and strengthen our body. And I would like to share with you all, if you don't know who I am, I'm just a guy who lives on top of a mountain top. And at 38 years old, I decided to stop chasing my tail like we all do. We all chase our tails. But this time I wanted to stop because I realized I was going nowhere. I was sick, I was unhealthy, I wasn't feeling good, I felt down, I was angry a lot of the times. I had a really bad reaction to other people saying things to me, like if a teacher or somebody came across like a teacher, because of my childhood trauma. So I had a lot of trauma in my life. In fact, I still do to this day, but not as half as bad. So I'm really pleased about that. So the path I went on was a path called natural healing. And natural healing is mocked and laughed at only up until the main health industry, which you go to with people with certain white coats on, then say there's nothing we can do, or we don't really understand what's going on, we can't tell you, I'm sorry, we just don't know. When people are at their breaking point, when they've exhausted all avenues that they were told was the health and well-being of humanity, when they realize that there's no help and they've turned away because they can't help them, then they come looking for alternative. So I was the alternative. My work was predominantly one thing, and that was a frequency that was within you and around you. And that frequency I wanted to learn, just like a man in a white coat would go into an office, a building every day and look at a petri dish and keep changing whatever is changing. What I was doing was naturally looking at my clients whose energetic field around the body, the eyes, the legs, the mouth, the chest, everywhere around their body, I was looking at that frequency and working on that frequency to see if we can find a new frequency that would help clear that distortion frequency where the issue was. Predominantly, the issue was never this is the interesting thing. If you're interested in this, you'll be still watching it. If not, you've already gone, because you've been programmed to only hear something for 30 seconds and that will be your fix. If you're in that program, then you've already gone. If you've not, then you really do want to understand what life is and how it works. Most people don't. Children don't anymore. Adults don't. They just don't care. They don't have time. And it's not their fault. It's just they've been programmed by a system to have breaking news, to tell you one thing and that's it. Then you feel better. But you only feel better for a short while. Then you need another fix. Whereas I realized that was called chasing your tail. Now you understand what chasing your tail means. It's a very clever program. So I broke free from that and I started looking at life, and I started looking at people. I started sitting down and people watching. Fantastic. It's fantastic. And looking at frequency, energetic energy around them. And how I started that was one of my mentors said to me, look at a tree, look at a rock, look at a flower, look at a bird. So I did. And I started realizing, wow, the geniuses of humanity that told us that everything was energy. They're right. Everything is energy. Yet we see it as a tree. It's not a tree. It's far more than a tree. It's alive. Of course it's alive. It grows, but not just it grows. It has an energetic frequency around it. And trees can get poorly. And other trees can feed them when they're poorly. They talk to each other. So you realize that, hang on a minute, they're not just trees that grow. There's something else going on here. And then when you get to that point where most people are now watching this, just waiting, and as soon as I crop up, he's gone too far. Let's go. Dorothy, yes, he's gone too far today. Let's go. He's not wearing a white coat. He's an idiot. Yeah. So looking at the tree and understanding that the trees actually communicate, meaning they talk to each other, just like dogs do. They don't like bark at each other when they're together. They speak to each other through frequency, energy. So when it's distorted on the body, why is it that if you've got two dogs, one dog will go over and can feel and smell a frequency which is negative? And sometimes the frequency of negativity can cause the body illness. So then the body starts to deteriorate or starts to go off. And yes, it has a smell. It has a frequency. So animals can pick up on that, and they pick up on you being upset. Animals pick up on you being sad, and they're healers. They're great healers, guys. They're great healers. You know, you can hit a dog and it'll come back and love you. You can scream at a dog and it'll come back and love you. I think dogs were spirits that decided to come into this world to learn how to love unconditionally. Because 99% of humanity abuse animals, whether it's physically or emotionally or through their mouth, because of their weakness and their frustrations. Did you know? God love animals. God love dogs and cats. Cats are a little bit different. Cats still hold the memory of when they were in the Egyptian times. Remember that? Of course you do. You were there. And we revered them as gods, and we still believe till this day they still remember that. And they are predominantly cats are gods, really, or they still remember that we treat them that way. So a lot of people will be saying, get on with it now. Well, I'm not getting on with it. I'm just speaking freely, and this is how I am. And if you like me, you like me. If you don't, then, you know, you'll go. It's up to you. Sometimes in these videos, there is some truths in here, and sometimes it can help people. And I have helped people, and people have helped me, because we're all teachers and pupils. And you'll be watching this and saying, oh my God, that makes sense, and I want to say something, and you'll type underneath and I'll go, wow, flipping heck, amazing. So you teach me. So we don't have a God complex like most doctors. We don't have a God complex like most police officers. We are just communicating. They've lost that. They've gone past that love between each other. They've forgot who we are and how we should treat each other, because they've gone into a negative energy. They've gone into a heavy energy. So what is today's discussion? I have a theory, and the fact that there's a book that came out, and the book was about masters. I don't like the word masters, but I do like the terminology. I do like the way it's been put across, and it makes sense. What makes a master? Well, in this book it says if you've done 10,000 hours of one specific work, then you become a master. When I heard that, I thought, wow, that makes sense. Not even thinking that I've done 10,000 hours. So then my partner said, sit down. So I sat down. When did you start your work? I said, my healing work, my psychic, my going into houses and cleansing negative energy and working with people who had attachments. And when I was about 38, 39. Okay, when did you stop? I stopped about 4 years ago now. Okay, and what time did you start work in the morning? Were you full-time? I was full-time. What time did you start work in the morning? Well, I normally started at 10 o'clock. And what time did you have a dinner hour? I said, yeah, I had a dinner hour. And what time did you work till? Well, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Okay, so did you work Saturdays? Yeah, I worked Saturdays. Did you work Sundays? I did work Sundays as well, yeah. Okay, so did you have much time off? Well, not really, because when I went to Ibiza to work, I'd have a few hours off, and that was like my holiday. But no, not predominantly, never really had a holiday, just worked. Okay, so let's just slash half of those hours, and let's just see how many hours. Let's just say half of those hours that we've added up. And I realise I've done well over 10,000. So am I a master? Well, it depends what you mean by master. Because for me, a master is somebody who... I don't like the word master. But I do like the idea of the fact that the acknowledgement that you've put a lot of hours into something. So you're a master carpenter. Why? Because you've done over 10,000 hours. So I kind of get it. But then again, what if there's a master and he's not such a good carpenter? Some people are better than others, right? So I kind of get it to a degree and I don't. So, yeah. So my hypothesis of health, my hypothesis of you being a singular spacesuit, and inside that spacesuit there is a spirit. So they both work hand in hand. But here's how I see how the world has been kind of fooled by words. Very, very clever words. It's a hijacking of words. But I want to tell you how I, at 38 years old, understood or started to understand. I still don't get it fully. And I don't think I ever will. And I think the more I learn, the less I actually know about anything, which is amazing, which keeps me going every day. It's beautiful. I don't really want to know everything because then I'd be only bored. I'd like to learn new things, and there is no black and white. There's only shades of grey. There is only shades of grey. Okay, let me plug this in here. Sorry, I have to go back here now because my phone's on. Just hang on, let me plug in. Right. We have to go back here. So, oh my God, there's so many crystals around me, it's unreal. Okay, so my hypothesis of everything that is and everything that can change your life, everything that can bring forward in your life great joy, happiness, health. This is a really powerful video. It will be if you're still here. So going back to the understanding of everything being energy, energy being life, everything, even a rock has life. We all know now crystals have life, and we all know that within every drop of water, every droplet of water holds a crystal. So when we drink water, we become crystal, and in actual fact, we vibrate like crystals. In fact, the number one most powerful crystal in the world is you. Now, the world doesn't want you to know this. The people at B who make money on you for buying things which are useless want you to believe that you are not the most powerful thing in the world, and that you need things to make you better and stronger and happier. So you need the handbag, you need the car, you need the holiday, you need things that are useless. Things that are good, that vibrate at a good energetic frequency, like crystals, like natural, anything that Mother Earth grows for you. That's different. That's a completely different energetic frequency. And that's healing frequency. That's healthy frequency. That's what Mother Earth gave you. Of course, it's been hijacked. Of course, there's a lot of fake. But the truth is that right now, we have come to a point in our lives, all of us nearly, that we believe something that is a lie. We believe that health is outside of us, when actual fact, health, well-being, healing is the most important thing to understand, is and always has been within you. So most of the time when you're sick, if you don't do anything, the body does everything and it heals you most of the time. Obviously, if you break your leg, you'd go to the doctors, the hospital, and they would repair it and fix it. And then after they've repaired it, the body then heals itself, but it needed a helping hand. That's slightly different. But predominantly, when you don't feel well, and we're going to come to why you don't feel well in a minute, because this is the thunderbolt and lightning strike that most of people don't get because they were told not to get, and they were confused, and they were hijacked, and they were sidetracked, they were sleight of handed in this world of absolute, well, when you see it from my point of view, my head just shakes in disbelief how people have been so conned. So let me begin one of the greatest videos hopefully I'll have ever made in my life. There is not one particular aspect of what I'm talking about that is 100%. This is only part of the idea that black and white is no such thing, but lots of shades of grey. This is one of them. And hopefully with this one shade of grey, it will give you food for thought to understand what real, true health, well-being, and self-healing truly is. So I'm going to first start by saying that I used to be a hairdresser. I've been and done a lot of things in my life, and one was a hairdresser. And in that hairdressing salon, I recall all the staff that were working there were female. And this was a long time ago. I was 17 years old. The one thing I noticed is that the girls always talked about their period. Okay. I'm not a woman, so I don't really get too excited about that. But they did. And what I noticed was that every month the girls would get their monthly cycle. And one would say, "Oh, I'm on my period." And then somebody else would say it, and then somebody else would say it, and they'd all get the period at the same time. Okay, what's that got to do with anything, Mark? Well, it's actually got to do with a lot. It's the pinnacle of understanding everything. Nobody talks about it. They don't want you to. This is so dangerous. They don't want you to know this. So I have staff down here, beautiful staff. They're all women. Guess what they talk about? Yes, their period. And everybody gets it at the same time. Now, I'm not saying it happens all the time, but I'm saying that there is something in this that needs to be looked at. So, as a healer, I used to sit and watch people and look at their frequency. Now, the only way I can really help you make sense of this is to try and be as simple as possible. Because not that you're stupid. No. It's just I want to make it simple as anything. Imagine that your whole body is an antenna. Okay, so when you want to listen to a radio station, you look out of the window and you see all of these metal poles, and all them poles receive frequency, energy, vibration, and each pole has its own unique frequency, each one of them. So now imagine yourself as that, what I've just said, or let's say you're a unique crystal and you vibrate at a certain frequency. Now, each person that you come in contact with vibrates at their own frequency, their own radio signal. So you might meet radio 2 tomorrow, and you might meet radio 3, and then God forbid you meet BBC radio, because that is heavy frequency. You don't really want to be near that frequency, but it comes into your energetic frequency. And once that energetic frequency starts, that radio station starts playing, you start feeling sick, you start feeling nausea, you start feeling angry, you start feeling like you're lost, you don't know what to do, you're confused. And when that radio station stops and goes away, you have that frequency in your body. It's around you. It's in the radio waves are all in your radio waves, so you're not now confused, feeling terrible. So it's the same as going into a room with a group of people and they're all happy, dancing. All of a sudden, you're lifted up to that energy, right? Have you ever been to a club where you felt, nah, and then all of a sudden you get on that dance floor and all of a sudden, oh my God, this is it, okay? Radio frequencies, music's playing, right music, right people, brilliant, okay? You go into a room and there's people looking at you really nasty, okay? They're jealous, they're angry, they're bitter. You feel that. You walk out of that room, you feel sick, right? That's because you have connected to that frequency. That doesn't take a rocket science to figure that out now, right? What I've said. That's not BS. That makes perfect sense. If you're sat with somebody who's filled with grief, don't tell me you don't feel that unless you're a psychopath, unless you're narcissistic. Okay, like you have no attunement or connection to your heart, your soul, your spirit, your empathy. Okay, that's the difference. Remember, all shades of grey. But this is something that I have understood. So when I have worked on a client who came into the room who's in a terrible place, and I've spent 1 hour healing with them, I felt that frequency and I needed to. I needed to understand what was going on. So I would scan their body and think, oh dear, they've got some real bad issue in the stomach. It could be cancer. It could be somebody had absolutely abused them so badly that it sat in the stomach and I needed to clear it away, okay? So when I'd finished, I would feel that in my frequency. And a lot of the times, and please tell me if I'm wrong, but if there's any healers out there, if you are a true healer and you understand energy, if I'm right by what I'm saying, you can feel the same frequency as what that client is emitting. Meaning that all of a sudden you can be doing some healing work and you can feel a pain in the head or a pain in the chest or a pain in the back or a pain somewhere. And you find out after the end of that healing session that that client had the same issue, meaning that you picked up that energy. Now, I'm going somewhere now, and this is where it gets a little bit more deeper, but it's profound. Frequency, when picked up by another person, your frequency is activated at the same place. So it's not as if when I'm healing somebody, I'm feeling the pain of that person, but something's activated. There's some kind of healing taking place. And this is my truth. Everybody in this world is healing at any given moment, whether they are in a bad place or not. Now, I've told you all before this, if you've ever watched my videos, if you are in fear, your body can't heal. But that doesn't mean your body isn't trying to heal you. Okay? So, the girls, when I was 17 years old, one came in and said, I'm on my period. Another one starts talking to her, and the day later, oh, I've got my period now. Or an hour later, I've got my period now. It's the same energetic frequency as in we healing others or people are coming into our energetic frequency, right? So here's my hypothesis. What if there was actually no such thing as the word contagious? What if we took that word, contagious? I picked this up from you. I got a cold from you. Let's pick all them words up and wrap them up and throw them in the bin and change them now. Completely disregard all what you've been told, which is very clever, because then you'll run to a certain building and buy something to make yourself feel better. Now, let's change that. When you meet certain people, your energetic frequency heightens to the same energetic frequency to that person, or lowers to the same energetic frequency as them. So let's just say that your body is in perfect balance. Somebody comes into your life who is now, get ready for it, healing equals detoxification. You then pick up that energetic frequency. Your body says, oh, there's an energetic frequency here of detox. I need to detox. Just like when I'm giving somebody healing their stomach, my stomach starts to go weird. But my stomach's going weird because my stomach is now detoxing, is healing, as that person's is healing. So when somebody comes into your life with negative energy, you then start to think, oh, it's negative, but actually they're clearing negative energy. And when you feel that, you're clearing negative energy. So you can feel that and your body's clearing all the past, all the trauma, all the issues. Again, shades of grey. I can feel that negative energy. But let's just say that in this particular instance that I'm talking about, which goes very deep, let's just say there is no such thing as a cold. Let's just say there's no such thing as bronchitis. Let's just say there's no such thing. Let's just take that away. And let's just say that whatever you've done in your life, whatever you've put inside your mouth, whatever you haven't put inside your mouth that you should have done, that then the body is in a certain kind of frequency. And that frequency is ready at any given moment to heal. And sometimes when somebody comes into your energetic frequency and they're going through that radio station, which is called Time to Detox. Hi, I'm Radio Detox. Hi, pleased to meet you. Oof, I'm detoxing now. I'm Radio Detox. So now you start to get a little bit of, what's this coming out of my nose? Well, actually, that's detoxing. Your body is now starting to detox. So what is that? Well, actually, inside that mucus, inside all of that, which sometimes goes into your chest, that you would rush to a certain building and swallow something that suppresses that inside there and then gets worse, and then you get pneumonia, right? All of that needs to come out, because that is what you've been a naughty boy or a naughty girl, and you've been putting inside your mouth things that you shouldn't have done. Why is it that nurses, why is it that doctors, why is it that healers don't get sick when they're with people? Because they eat correctly, they look after their body, their mind, their soul, and they balance themselves. So when radio detox comes in, your body says, oh, detox, there's nothing to detox. So it disappears and goes. Watch this video again. What I'm trying to say, guys, is that I believe wholeheartedly we've been hoodwinked, we've been duped. And it's a great gravy train. It's an immense amount of wealth and power and control. But if you've just listened to what I've said and you sit down and meditate on it, I'm not saying it's the truth. I'm saying it's my truth of what a healer has learned in over 10,000 hours of clients and work with all my love, everything that I wanted to do and give. I wanted to understand healing. I wanted to understand the body. And I'm not perfect. And I make mistakes. And sometimes I eat chocolate, which is filled with the wrong things that then my body needs to detox. And I'm not like many people. My detox is very quick, very short, and it's gone within an hour. I learn how to tell my body, you're healthy. I learn how to speak to my body and say I'm filled with love and happiness and joy. And that love, happiness, and joy is constantly healing my body. Remember what I said, when you live in fear, your body's not healing. When you live in joy, happiness, fun, when you live in balance, your body's constantly healing. So it's constantly cleansing, clearing. So when people have terrible issues, it's because they're in a bad place, because they're not putting the right things inside them. They're putting the wrong things inside them. And the body then screams out and then can cause this cleansing, this purging. And those words have been taken by certain people and used to be able to not only scare you, not only control you, but to manipulate you into buying things that were never really needed. So here's my take on health and well-being. Preparing yourself as the most powerful crystal in the world is extremely important. Looking after the crystal within you is extremely important. Making it stronger every day. So everything that Mother Earth has created, as long as it hasn't been contaminated by people in white coats, if you can find pure organic fruit and veg and water from springs that have not been contaminated, if you eat herbs, if you eat roots, if you eat plants and seeds and all what Mother Earth gave you without contamination of sprays, you will then feed the crystal. The crystal then will become stronger day by day, and it can take weeks, months, and sometimes years, but that's okay, because happiness is not a destination, it's a way of life. So you don't look upon life as a 2-week fast. You don't look upon life as a 3-week diet. You look upon life as every day changing it and making it stronger, looking after that radio single, looking after that beautiful antenna that you are, looking after that beautiful crystal that you are. And every time you drink water, you hold it and send love into it and then drink it, because you're putting good energy into it. Every thought that you have, think about your thought, because your thought creates whatever you're thinking, because you're telling your body, because your body doesn't know any different. So a thought is the same as what somebody says to you. So think happy thoughts. Push the boundaries of your life and believe in magic. Push the boundaries of your thoughts and your creativity and believe in your dreams and that they will come true. Create stories, beautiful stories that the spirit world will listen to and help create if you truly want that. I want the best for you. I want health for you. I want you to understand that life is actually beautiful, and you have to take control of your life, and there's nobody in a white coat or nobody in an official building that actually can help you. In fact, they don't really help. The only person who can help you is you. And that's why I think 2022 is a year of being your own guru, of taking control, being your own teacher, being your own guide, being your own doctor, being your own health expert, being your own sports teacher, being your own amazing, divine, everything that you are. A lot of people don't want to do that. Too difficult. And that's why they've probably all gone now, because they get bored very quickly. And in truth, they don't want to hear the truth. They would rather hear something that makes them feel better for 30 seconds than search for somebody else to make them feel better. When the only person who can make you feel better is you. So if you're still watching this, hopefully this is food for thought. Let food be thy medicine. Let medicine be thy food. Know your power. You are the greatest healer in the world. And no one has the power over you unless you let them, unless you give it them. Today, I'd like to offer 5 crystals because you're a beautiful crystal. And I don't think this channel will last very long. And if you want to find me somewhere else and you want to chat and listen to some of the things I have to say, I have a crystal channel. So to be in with a chance of winning one of these 5 crystals I have down here, all you have to do is go to Mark Bajerski Crystals channel and subscribe, then go to markbajerski.com and subscribe to the newsletter. And when you've done that, come back on here. In fact, come back on here and just say, I've done it, Mark. And then I'll put you into a raffle. And I'll announce the raffle in a few days' time. And underneath here, I'll just randomly choose 5 beautiful souls to receive a free pure energy healing crystal to help you stronger, help your energetic frequency. That's it. I hope this video means something to you today. Love you all. Thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your authentic crystals, oils, incense. I hope they've helped. Teas. New tea coming out soon, which we sold out within a week, or was it 2? And that's the parasite tea. That's coming up very soon. They've been making it, they've been growing it, and now they're going through the process of drying it thoroughly and going through all the organic procedures. So no chemicals, no garbage, no nonsense. It's all pure, healthy, with the sage as well. So that's coming soon. I'm going to crack on with this work. Have a great day, guys. Love you all. Take care.